Today we're going to learn about the case 7018 of Roe v. Wade in 1973. You might ask yourself, how did this case get into the Supreme Court? Well, Jennifer's going to tell you right now.
The Roe v. Wade case made its way to the Supreme Court because of Jane Roe, real name being Norma McCorvey. She challenged the constitutionality of the Texas criminal abortion laws. That law was that it prohibited abortion except if it were to save the life of the pregnant woman. Some fundamental rights were involved in this case, so it went to the state to show the court that there was a compelling interest. After that, the court applied the strict scrutiny test.
Hello, Miss Rose. This is just an interview so you can let others know about your past.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, now talk to us.
I was married to such an abusive husband.
It's okay. Take your time.
We ended up divorcing and giving our child to some relatives. I did have a huge drug and alcohol addiction. When I ended up getting pregnant, I gave them to adoption. For the third time that I got pregnant, I came back to Dallas and was seeking for an abortion. I was so depressed and had no money.
Okay, so now tell us about the case.
I filed a lawsuit in federal district court on behalf of myself and all other pregnant women. I wanted to have the Texas abortion law declared unconstitutional as an invasion of my rights to privacy as guaranteed by the 1st, 4th, 5th, 9th, and 14th Amendments. I also sought to have an injunction issued against the statute's enforcement so that I might go forward with the abortion. Hubert Halford was a physician who was being prosecuted under the statute for 2 abortions he had performed. He was filing a suit against the law too. The Does, which were Mary Doe and John Doe, were filing a suit too. A 3-judge district court combined the cases of Halford and I. They dismissed the suit brought by the Does. District court agreed with me that the law was unconstitutionally vague and violated my right to privacy under the 9th and 14th Amendment. They refused to grant the injunction allowing me to go ahead with the abortion. I appealed the denial of the injunction to the U.S. Supreme Court. They agreed to hear the case along with Doe v. Woolton, which was relating to a 1968 Georgia abortion statute. Court dismissed Halford's case because of the pending prosecution against him. His case fell clearly with the ambit of the rule announced in prior Supreme Court cases.
Okay, so now tell us what happened after the case.
So now everyone knows my real name is Norma McCorvey. 2 years after I filed the lawsuit, I found out I won. But I ended up having the child, but went up for adoption.
You might not know all the details of the Supreme Court case, but here are all the facts. In the Supreme Court case of Roe v. Wade, the 1st, 4th, 5th, 9th, and 14th Amendment were argued throughout the case, but the 9th and 14th being the most important. The 9th states that just because it isn't written down doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And what people were fighting for was the right of privacy. And what this meant throughout the case was being able to do what is their business.
The 14th Amendment states that anyone born in the U.S. is a citizen, and they can't have their life, liberty, or property rights removed. And with that, they argued that abortion takes away someone's life. The final decision of the Roe v. Wade case came out to the court deciding to remove the Texas abortion law. The final vote came out to a 7-2 majority vote in favor of Roe. The main reason they voted that way was because of the scrutiny test. This case did set a precedent. The precedent was that it overturned all state and federal restrictions on abortion up until a fetus becomes viable. By viable, I mean being able to survive outside of the womb.
I agree with the final outcome because I am pro-abortion. I believe that an individual can choose whether or not they want to have one or not. They're not forcing someone to have an abortion. If you're not okay with it, just don't have it. It's fine.
In my decision, I do agree with the outcome. Women should make the decision to give or not to give birth to the child.